but the one that stands tall is take it as it comes. I think it works perfect for life. If you are somebody who's going to take things just the way they come, you're going to have practices around it as to how to combat situations. This is now life is evolving. There was no time before this. I recall when people used to travel as frequently, they used to be totally uprooted their comfort zones. They put to another world, and then they learn to exist, even in that, within a matter of days. When you come back successful, it could be a project that you're handling abroad. It could be a training session, much like I used to take. So there were days when I'd be in Bangalore, the next day I'd be in Hyderabad, so on and so forth. So how does it work? I think now we have evolved from a stage where we were more used to staying at one place constantly. We were married to even circumstances around us. We used to accept them as our circumstances, even if it was a legacy. But I think it's high time you sit back and carefully think about your life. What do you want? It is not about blaming people eventually. So many times you might hold complaints about people who should have done the right things at the right time, and hence it impacted your life. But remember, you are wasting this moment too in complaining about it. Have a mechanism to resolve it. Move forward. There is no perfect way. Wherever life is driving you, it will lead you to a place where, if you leave it totally up to your abilities, automatically you would reach a place where you are designed to exist, and impactfully so, if you have some determination in you as a person. So personal experience, it has always worked for me. If I leave it to the day to take its due course, I take the actions that I'm required to take according to me. Mostly it is not what came my way from somebody, from something alone. It is about how my brain thought about things happening around it. So people may download a pile of advice to you, but never be mistaken. You usually end up taking just the part of the advice that you think is required. That comes to us by design. Like lions are carnivores. They don't need to be trained to be carnivores. Instinctively they are so. Similarly, human beings are trained to protect themselves. Theory of existence, that's a deep concept. So you can read some good books instead of listening to this for that. I would say rely significantly on your own thought process. Start to value it. Of course, watch the best aspects of others' lives, but never fall for perspectives, because they are stuck in a certain scenario where they are X years old. They might have Y difficulties. They have Z goals. Your scenario is probably totally different, so you need to have a different game plan. What is making life work? Now that's another important segment of this. Your life is good the way it is. It is about how you feel. It is not about you to drive a fancy car, live in a fancy home. You should be really, really glad of the aspects that your life has got for you. I'm not saying that all of us can be high on drugs and be junkies, because it might appeal for a short duration of time, but that's not sustenance, right? So sustenance requires you to thoroughly enjoy whatever you do for a living, in your free time, as a belief system. Whatever you do is with your entire energy focused. There is a reason why we start our day exercising, and we are not suggestive of exercising in the evenings or towards the end of the day. The reason you start your day with especially Mortal Kombat and other forms of martial art, Muay Thai, Definitely Brazilian capoeira. All these forms, they signify, they emphasize on exercising right at the beginning of the day. There is a reason to it. The prime concept says that you first need to detach from your previous day before you decide to move on to your next day in thoughts. And that works if alone you start your day in control. How can you control it? Possibly by indulging yourself in an activity that you decided for yourself, not something that nature threw on you. It's not like you start your day by logging onto your laptop and handling some escalation emails at work. Well, that is a reality. We have to do it for a living. But what do you do out of your own passion, out of your own interest? You might want to start it with an activity, just sitting beside, thinking about something that you prioritized yesterday, or but definitely not with a problematic statement. Don't start your day with problem statement. Start your day with developmental exercises for your life. There might be 1,000 people impacted by 100 things that you did in the past, and that they might be throwing things back at you now, but you can't spoil your today, because yesterday is gone, not just for them but for you too. It's about your tomorrow. Be serious about it. Time cannot be called back. So good luck. Thanks. Other than it,